From showing us the most wholesome moments to traumatizing everyone with gruesome scenes, NCIS has had its fair share of moments to give the fans some mini heart attacks. But some of them just take things to the extreme. The first one that was actually painful to watch was Tom Morrow's death scene. Morrow has always been an important part of the show. First, he worked as the NCIS director, but after that, Jenny Shepard took over, and at the beginning of Season 3, he went on to play the role of Deputy Director at Homeland Security. Even though he had left the NCIS team, he was still good friends with many of the team members. In fact, he was very close to Gibbs, Vance, and Fornell. This closeness was the reason why his death looked super painful. However, the scene where fans saw his dead body was quite a gruesome one. It was Gibbs who found his friend dead after he went to visit him at his house. He didn't know that his friend had been killed by an assassin's bullet when he entered his home office. Morrow ended up dead because he was offering help to Gibbs in order to find an MI6 agent who had escaped from jail. But well, death arrived before he could get the job done. Compared to Morrow's death, this next scene was actually more terrifying than it was gruesome. It was when an explosion had Delilah almost dead. The incident itself was quite a big deal, but the injuries that she sustained surely were gruesome and even painful to watch. It was in Season 11's Kill Chain episode that fans saw the scene where the NCIS team was busy searching for a drone. This drone was actually stolen by a terrorist organization, and they were going to use it for the wrong purposes. And with that mission on hand, the team was working on finding Benham Parsa, the leader of the Brotherhood of Doubt. But while doing so, the NCIS team failed to stop the terrorist attack. In that episode, fans saw Parsa use the very same drone to bomb the Conrad Gala, and this event ended up in a mess. The event was also attended by Timothy McGee and Delilah, his girlfriend. While Timothy himself was saved since he was outside when the event was bombed, his girlfriend ended up getting stuck in the middle of it, and she was hit by a lot of shrapnel. Her injuries were so bad, but, well, at least she survived. Poor Delilah was left in a wheelchair after this for a good while, but time eventually healed everything, and she got married to Timothy later. While this one eventually ended up well, this next one didn't really have that. Remember when Ellie and Jackie were killed? In Season 10, the 11th episode arrived with some true horrors. It was one of the episodes where the beloved NCIS team couldn't stop the dangers from hurting their own people. And yes, it was truly painful to watch. The episode showed the death of Jackie and Ellie. In the scene, fans saw Ziva, her father Ellie, Leon Vance, and his wife Jackie were having dinner together. But little did they know that someone who wasn't the target would die. During the dinner, Ziva leaves the room to call Gibbs, and while she's still on call, the terror of gunshots arrive. In the firing, both Jackie and Ellie die, and the portrayal of those murders gave me nightmares. For those who don't know, this firing was actually ordered by Elon Bodnar, who was Ellie's deputy director. So yes, loved ones were killed there. Another one that I believe was gruesome enough to bring nightmares was in Season 4. I'm talking about the death of Paula Cassidy. She was an NCIS special agent, and I know for a fact that most people only remember Ziva David replacing Caitlin Todd, but Cassidy did too for a while. The agent was also in a romantic relationship with Tony Donoso, and this relationship only worsened things when she died. Her death came around during the 4th season when she was leading her own NCIS team. There was a mission where a bomb exploded in a building and 2 of her teammates died. However, at that point, she was able to survive. But later on, she quickly realized that there was another bomb, and if it exploded, it would kill Tony, Gibbs, and her. In order to keep everyone safe, she sacrifices herself by closing the door behind her and dies right there. She was a true hero, and NCIS fans will always remember her. But you'd be shocked to know that her death wasn't the most surprising on the show. Remember Clayton Reeves? All the NCIS fans will agree that apart from Caitlin, Reeves' death was genuinely hurtful and unexpected. The MI6 officer was the liaison officer with the NCIS team. And at the time when he was working at the international desk, fans often saw him with the main team. Not to mention, he had actually become friends with them over the years. But the showrunners thought that it'd be a great idea to just kill him off. Why? We'd never know. He died during a scene where someone was trying to rob Abby. Being the gentleman he was, he stepped in. But the worst happened, and he was shot dead right there. He was, however, able to stop the thief. His death had a major impact on everyone, and especially Abby, since she later left the team. Probably it was a lot for her to handle. The scene had action in it, but seeing a great character die wasn't that easy for any of the fans either. Another gruesome moment was when a character died in Season 5. Jenny Shepard was her name. Fans often consider it the best death on the show for some reason, but I'll have to say that it was also the most painful one to watch and left everyone heartbroken for days. You must be wondering why it was the best. Well, it was the circumstances of her death that made it so amazing.
Hello, Jethro.
And the scene will always have a separate place in my heart. Shepard was in all her glory, and she made sure that she had killed several men before dying. She was the one to realize that Special Agent William Decker didn't actually die of natural reasons. In fact, he was murdered, and that's when she went to meet Franks. However, the assassins were also a step ahead. When she died, fans were devastated, and at the same time, her death also affected Gibbs and Tony, since they spent countless days trying to figure out what had happened. And now comes the most shocking scene ever in the entire series. It was the death of Caitlin Todd. Todd died too early in the series, and fans still miss her. While dying was one thing, the scene where she was shot was genuinely nightmarish. In Season 2, Caitlin was shot right in the center of her forehead, and it was Ari who shot her dead. Not to mention, her death was also the very first one on the show, and that's one reason why it was so shocking.
Months later, Kate took a shot to the head from sniper Ari Hazwari, leaving the other two splashed in blood.
Anyways, Ari didn't live long either, as his own sister Ziva killed him while saving Gibbs. When Caitlin died, the show proved one thing. Every single character on the show has always been in the danger zone of being killed off. There's just no way for anyone to be safe and get away with anything. If she had been alive, fans would have loved her character a lot. And there you have it, all the most gruesome moments on NCIS.